everyone doing? Happy Saturday. I hope all is well. It is me, New York vocalist Benita Charles, for another episode of Singing Tips. Just trying to check the connection here. Not sure if trying something new, something new and different. You know how that is when you try something new. Oh, hey, I see I have someone here. Hi, Joseph. How are you? Thanks so much for coming in. Derek, hello. Hi. Happy Saturday. It is me again for another episode of Singing Tips. This is actually the last Singing Tips for 2018. Believe it or not. Hi, David. Thanks so much for coming in. Hi, Dina. We are at the end. It is the last Singing Tips of 2018. Hard to believe that, but we have a new year coming up in a couple of days. Hi, Wayne. Thanks so much for coming in. Happy Saturday to you. I'm trying something new with this camera situation. Not sure if it's working out. Hey, how are you all? I promise you guys I will get it right one day. Well, thanks so much for coming in. How is everyone doing? We are at the last Saturday of 2018, and I want to show you this view I'm looking at. It's hard to see, but this is the Luminaires light show here at Brookfield Place. It's so pretty, but you know what? The camera is not capturing the colors because these lights change colors. And they have holiday music playing. It's so pretty. So right now they're red, and then they go into yellow, and then they turn blue. It's so pretty. They do it every year, and it's going to be going through like the 7th of January. But it's so pretty. I wish that I could capture, if you could see what I'm seeing. But it's really pretty, and like every 30 minutes they have like the lights will flash and they have holiday music playing. But it's really nice. Hi, Joe. I just saw you come in. I just wanted to show you guys that before we got started. It is. Hey, there we are again. But it's really pretty. I wish you guys could see it. Maybe a little later I'll go down if it's still going on before the show is before I leave here. But anyway, my name is Benita Charles. So if those of you all who don't know me, I am a vocalist here in New York City. And every week I've been coming in for a couple of years now and just bringing some business tips and singing tips for singers and business tips for those who are looking to pursue their dreams. But I do have an elevator pitch for Singing Tips. So Singing Tips Live is an artist development show to enable music artists to take control of their careers. This weekly show on Facebook Live allows artists to learn the show part, which is everything that happens in front of the stage. And that's your, performing in front of an audience, your talent, your image, and then all the things behind the stage, which is marketing and promotions, which we've been talking about for the last few weeks, and making money with your art. That's the business part. And all of this together is the process. By learning and appreciating the process, artists will ensure their success. The great thing about this show is from people from all walks of life has been finding value because many of the tips are universal. So they can apply to any profession, because in any profession you have to have the process. You have to work at what you're trying to do. You have to learn your craft. You have to study. You have to network. You have to market yourself, promote yourself. So all of these tips you can find value regardless of what you're doing. And that's the great thing about Singing Tips. It is designed for artists, but as I said, many of these tips apply to in any profession. But today's show is a little different because it's the last show of 2018. So I decided to highlight the most popular shows of the year. and I'm going to do the top 3. So now I can go from the 3rd to the 1st, or from the 1st to the 3rd. So whichever way you guys want me to go, I can go. I can go from the least popular to the most popular out of these top 3, because these top 3 are the most popular shows. So let me know what you're interested in. It was really interesting for me to see which shows were popular, that resonated with you all, which means they had the most views. And so, and it's interesting with Facebook, because when I first started 2 years ago, I would get a huge reach in terms of the amount of views, but it's dropped significantly, because I think they want you to start paying for promotions and to boost your posts and all of that. But these shows still got a lot of views. They were still very popular, because I think it resonated with people. So let me know, you guys. Do you want me to go from the 3rd to the 1st, or from the 1st to the 3rd? So if you want me to go from the 3rd to the 1st, put a 3. And if you want me to go from number 1 down to the 3, put a 1. So let me know. I'm just interesting to see which way you guys would like for me to go. So I'm going to leave that part up to you. But these were the shows that resonated with everyone. I got the most views and most engagement. I see. Okay, I have some reaction, but I don't see. Give me a 1 if you want me to go do the first one first, or give me a 3 if you want me to go 3, 2, 1, or if you want me to go 1, 2, 3. Just curious to see which direction you guys are interested in. Do you want to know the very most popular, the most popular show, or do you want me to go from the 3rd down to number 1? Let me know. While you guys are deciding that, I wanted to thank you all so much for your recent engagement in my holiday post. I went to Saks Fifth Avenue. They had a beautiful light show over the holiday, and I'm not sure how long it's going to be going on, but it's so gorgeous. And this year's theme was Broadway, so all of their window dressings was all about Broadway. The light show, it had Broadway themed music, whereas last year it was holiday music. But it was so incredibly beautiful. I also saw the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree, which is it's massive and beautiful. It's just extraordinary up front, just to see it in person. Nothing like being there. So it was really wonderful. And then I released my holiday song that I have been singing for years on Christmas. Got it done. But I was inspired to do that by Fraser Ramsey of Scotland. He has a podcast. He heard me sing it live on the Singing Tips show 2 weeks ago. And he said, hey, I want that on my show. And it kind of inspired me to just get it done so he could put it on his show. And he was so gracious to highlight it on his last podcast, along with my other song, We Can Make a Difference. So I thought that was so wonderful. I really appreciate him for that. So, but anyway, guys, let's get back to the show. If you don't tell me, I'll just decide for you. So do you want me to do number 3 first, or do you want me to do number 1 first? So just let me know. I'm just interested to see which direction you'd like me to go. So let me know. Give me a 3 or a 1. Anyone? Any takers? If not, I guess I'll start with number 3. So the third popular show of 2018 was my show on February 10th, and that was the Super Bowl show. So I did a show all about the Super Bowl because it was right at the time of the Super Bowl. And so there was 3 tips from watching the Super Bowl that I got and I shared with the audience, and that show got 161 views. So the 3 tips that I shared were, I had 3 life lessons from the Super Bowl. So the first life lesson was always show up prepared, bring your A game. So, with the Super Bowl, these are the best of the best. So these are the 2 teams, top 2 teams out of the nation. They've had weeks of winning, and so these are the best of the best. So my first takeaway from the Super Bowl was always show up prepared, bring your A game. So I have written here, these 2 teams didn't get to the Super Bowl by accident. It took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, many practices and actual games they won. They are in optimal, tip-top shape, and they are prepared to win. So I feel like we, as people who aren't athletes or trying to do, our goals, always be prepared, bring your A game, show up 100% every day. So, and then I have in life, always show up prepared to win. This means that you're well rehearsed, you know your subject inside out, and you are confident. You have to set yourself up to win. You never know when you'll get that opportunity again. And always be prepared, because you never know who you may run into or who you need to meet, and you want to be at your best at all times. So tip number 2, or lesson number 2 from the Super Bowl is, it doesn't matter what happens at the first half of the game. It really counts in the last half of the game. And you only get one shot. So much can change from the beginning of the game until the end. Depending on the score, the last few seconds of the game are crucial. They can make or break the game. So many times I've seen games where, maybe a team is not doing so well, and you can you almost give up on them, but they don't give up on themselves, and they push through. And then when it counts at the crucial moments, one play can change everything, and then they go on to win. So I think it's a good lesson that sometimes things may look like they're not going well, or you may not be winning, but you don't give up. You push through, and you stay at 100%, because it could change in an instant. So I also have written, in life, some choices we make in life can be the one thing we need to either make things happen or cause them to fail. Choose wisely, make good decisions. Sometimes you only get one shot and an opportunity to make a first impression. So, I thought that that's a good lesson that we can learn from the Super Bowl, because sometimes it could be one play that they can win with the 30 seconds. I've seen games where they had 30 seconds, and the last 30 seconds they made it happen. Number 3, never ever give up, which is my song. You must stay focused and not get distracted by the things that are happening in the games. Maybe there's a bad play, or maybe it's the score, a low score, or you're the underdog, and everyone's, there's all this chatter about how you're not going to do anything because you're the underdog. And you can't let any of those distractions get in your way. And then I have here, in life, no matter what you're going through now, things can always turn around for the better. Stay the course and keep fighting until the end. And I've seen teams where you could tell they just gave up. Maybe things weren't going so well, and then they just gave up, and they just never was able to get a footing, or they were never able to just get over the hump. And I've seen the opposite, where I've seen teams where it looked like they weren't going to do anything, or they were losing, and then the second half, everything changed. So, those were my takeaways from the Super Bowl. Not athletic, but it's more so life lessons, because you can learn so much from sports. And then I had a quote that I like: "Before you can win, you must believe you are worthy." And that's by Mike Ditka. Own it. Where there is always plenty of room for self-reflection in life, there is never any for self-doubt. When you decide to pursue a goal, own it. I don't know if that was a quote, if that was something I wrote, but that was pretty good. I don't have I think that was something I wrote because I don't have a person who said it. So, oh, and this is a quote from Given Sunday. Any Given Sunday. Life is just a game of inches. You find out that in life is just a game of inches because in either the game of life or football, the margin of error is so small. One half step too late or too early, you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow or too fast, and you don't quite catch it. That was Al Pacino and his inch by inch speech in Any Given Sunday. So I thought that was really good. Yeah. So these are the notes from my singing tip show on the Super Bowl, and these are the lessons that I learned from the Super Bowl. And this was a popular show, so that's why I'm highlighting it. And then I have something else written here. In sports, the most minuscule of efforts and increments can determine dominance or demise. A 1,000th was hard to say of a second in swimming, a millimeter in tennis, or inches in football, the most minuscule of efforts and increments can determine dominance or demise. Beware of the underdogs. Underdogs have nothing to lose and everything to gain. They are hungry, and if you're not careful, they can eat your lunch for years to come. Put losses in perspective and be resilient. In great attempts, it is glorious even to fail. So I thought these were really good tidbits to take away. Oh, I have other notes, which it's okay. You know how you're writing all these notes. But so I thought that this was a really popular show, and this had 161 views, and that was February 10th. So the second popular show that I did a few weeks ago, December 8th. The show was called The Best Advice I Ever Got, and I was inspired to do that show by Spotify for Artists because they have various little snippet videos, like small little videos, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, of famous artists talking about what the best advice they ever got. So I did my own take on it, and it got 228 views. And my best advice that I ever got was to create my own music. And at the time, it was several years ago, and I wasn't doing original music. I was doing covers. I was doing jazz, and I met a gentleman from a group called All About Chad. That group is no longer around. But at the time, he had his own CD out, and he said, Benita, he handed me his CD, and he said, you should do your own music. I mean, it's fine that you're learning these covers, but you need to write and produce and release your own music. I didn't know what all that meant at the time, but years later, I figured it out, and he was absolutely right. So I think out of all the advice or all the singing tips or all the things I've covered, to me that is the best advice, because whether you're a singer or whatever you do, you need your own products, you need your own services, because it comes from you. It's unique. There's no one else out here like you, and you will find your audience for whatever you're trying to do. But create your own. Put your own products out there. I'm doing my own music. I'm writing my own music. So that I thought that was the best advice ever, because it also helped me become a better artist. Like I found what makes me special, what makes me unique, and I could put that uniqueness even in my. If I do a cover song or if I can put my own spin on it. I can create, as an artist. I just found that was the best thing that I could have ever done. I found my voice. I found my personal voice through doing my own music. So that was great. So that was number 2. And the first one, number 1, the most popular singing tip of 2018, drum roll, is my show from October 20th is I was celebrating the 1,000 views of YouTube, and it was an interview with my producer Jason Thompson, and that received 456 views. So that was the most popular singing tip show of 2018, and it was really great because Jason really broke down like the experience of how he put the video together. You talked about the scenes that the various scenes that we shot the video in Harlem, East River, Long Island, and just his vision for the video, and also in trying to encompass what I was trying to accomplish. And I thought he did such a great job of articulating that. If you're interested in seeing that video, if you go to my Instagram page of Benita Charles, I have 3 Instagram pages: Benita Charles Music, and Singing Tips by BC. If you go to any of those channels, I have the video saved on my IGTV. So if you go to my profile, click on my IGTV icon, and you can see that video there. But it was so great because he really he articulated it better than I did in terms of the process and how he derived at his vision for the which I love the video. Like, I'm in love with this video. It's my very first music video, and I thought he did a great job of capturing. I mean, he went above and beyond what I had in mind. He captured the essence of the song, and we got, I think I wrote it down, we got 1,232 views as of today, and I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud of the video, and I thought he did an awesome job. I appreciated him, so that show highlighted him, and I had my stylist, she wasn't on camera, but she was there as well, and I really appreciated the clothing, everything, the dress. Everybody still talks about that white dress. But yeah, it was just amazing. And so that was my most popular singing tip show of 2018. And that was our celebrating the 1,000 views and the interview with my producer, Jason Thompson. So that was that was the most popular singing tip. And actually, I loved that show, and I loved, the video. So it was awesome. So thank you guys so much for your interest in singing tips. Thank you so much for your engagement. I really appreciate, just all of your encouragement. If there's anything that you'd like for me to talk about on Singing Tip that you are interested in, let me know. I'm very open to that. You can always direct message me, and we can make that happen. But I just want to thank you so much for your support of Singing Tips through the years. I can say that now. We're in going into our 3rd year next year. But I just appreciate you guys, that you're interested in the show and that you're finding value out of it. I did have some takeaways from 2018 that I would like to share with you. My takeaway from the whole 2018 year is, we've been talking about marketing and branding, marketing yourself, marketing your products. But my takeaway is, if you have to brand yourself by celebrating your own uniqueness and sharing your story. It will resonate with someone, and that's your audience. And that's how you build your audience, and that's how you build your tribe. Share your gifts to the world. Someone needs it. There's someone that needs what you have to offer. So that is my takeaway from 2018, with all the things that we've been talking about, marketing and branding. Celebrate yourself, share your message. There is someone who needs to hear it, and it will resonate, and you will find your tribe, your audience, and that's who you speak to. That's who you market to. So, but yeah, that's it. That is my takeaway from 2018. I want to thank you so much for your interest, for your attention, for your encouragement, for your engagement, for all the hearts and the likes and the thumbs up and all your comments. I really appreciate it. I want you to know that I do have a few announcements before I go. Oh, if you're interested in, we can do a recap. So this show is mainly about the top 3 singing tips from 2018. The third most popular show was the Super Bowl show, where I shared my takeaways from how the Super Bowl, what lessons we can learn from the Super Bowl in terms of life lessons. The second popular show was the best advice I ever got, which was to create my own music. And the first that had 228 views. And then the number 1 singing tip show that was the most popular was the show where we celebrated the 1,000 views on YouTube, and my producer Jason Thompson, I interviewed him and he shared the process of the interview, and that had 456 views. So that was the most popular singing tip show of 2018. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging in with me in 2018 and showing up every week. And, hopefully you've gotten some value out of it. I hope that, this show resonated with you to find your own voice, celebrate your uniqueness, share your story, brand yourself, brand your own uniqueness. And whatever you're doing, it doesn't matter. It's coming from you. There's no other person like you. So it's going to be unique. It's going to be different. Some other special announcements. Special thank you to everyone who, I made a holiday video of my single, Christmas Time, and that got 72 views. So I was really excited about that, because most of the time my videos get like 10, 12. So the fact that it got 72 views and I didn't have a whole lot of time to promote it, thank you guys for that. Never Ever Give Up, as I said before, is 1,232 views. Every 1,000 we will be celebrating. A special thanks again to Fraser Ramsey of Ramsey Unleashed podcast in Scotland for playing Christmas Time and We Can Make a Difference on his 2008 Roundup show recently. That was the last show of 2018 for him. A special thanks to Jim Lind of Australia for featuring me on his website. He created a page for me, and he also featured my Moments in Love CD. I will be posting that link on all my social media. But his website is iccopenhagen.com, and I have my own. He featured me, one of the featured artists on there, so I really appreciate that. Congratulations to Preacher Man. His new music is now available. A 7-inch single. It has 2 tracks, Familiar to Me and Lucky, and you can find that at preacherman.bandcamp.com. The link is on my website, on my Facebook, all my social media, but I will be posting that as well. So congratulations to him, all the best. His music is also being played over there in Scotland and UK and some other places. So congratulations to him. I know it's coming over here soon. Great music. So check him out at preacherman.bandcamp.com. Oh, also, we're going to be, Preacher Man and the Revival, we're going to be at Rubalat on New Year's Eve. So if you don't have any New Year's Eve plans, I want you to spend it with us at Rubalat, and the information is on my Facebook page. You have to RSVP. It's a secret location, so we can't give the address out. But if you're interested, you can RSVP. I will put that on. It's on my Facebook page in one of the recent posts, but I will be posting it again, of course, to give you the email for that. So come on out, ring in the new year with us. If you are not doing anything, come on out to Rubalat for New Year's Eve. Wishing you guys a safe, wonderful, happy New Year's Eve into 2019. Thank you again for everything in 2018, for your support, engagement, your interest. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Wishing you a safe, happy, and healthy new year. I will see you again in 2019 for the new singing tip, the first singing tip of 2019. Thank you again, and have a wonderful evening.